Oh, call the cops on my phone now. Call the cops.
My heart's going.
It's a stupid one I did.
Joseph went fishing with a friend, hoping for a calm night by the water. But as night fell, their peaceful trip turned dangerous.
Grabbed my rod because the freaking branch pulled it out. I knew that was gonna happen. Oh yeah, we out here. Camp Cray. That's a bass. Ooh, yeah. Let's see if I can get this in there. That kind of, it wasn't big, but.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get it.
Yep. Oh man. Or it's just like a dang shanty. And you just pop this. Pop that. No, that's it.
The tent is up, bro.
After fishing all day, they settled into their tents. The night was quiet until a noise outside suddenly woke Joseph.
We're gonna head to bed. Probably gonna get up early, hit the lake again. Got my mattress pad, got the sleeping bag. This little tent's all right. This ain't bad at all. Not like crazy roomy, but it's pretty good. Could fit 2 people in here. I just woke up. I heard something like a weird noise. What the hell is it?
Loud growls sent chills down his spine. Suddenly, a bear pressed against the tent, shaking it. His heart pounding, Joseph grabbed his weapon, prepared for the worst.
First. What the? Yeah, that sounds like a bear, like for real.
The woods fell silent. Believing the bear had left, Joseph stepped outside to check around.
All right, guys. Well, got no idea where that thing went. I just started a big fire. Make sure he don't come back, hopefully. No idea.
At first, he felt safe and started a fire to keep the bear away. Then, he suddenly heard noises all around him.
I might sleep in the freaking... What was that? I just heard something. I might sleep in the damn truck tonight.
Before he could see anything, the video suddenly cuts off.
Hearing something out there now. What the hell is that?
Some viewers say it was just a bear, while others think it could have been a skinwalker. What do you think Joseph faced that night? Ben and Carrie took a spontaneous camping trip to a familiar spot, but their plans for a peaceful getaway quickly spiraled into a nightmare.
Tuned in, and I want to chat to you guys throughout the night as much as I can. And yeah.
After they set up camp, Carrie began filming while Ben got spooked by strange noises nearby.
And she's behind me filming as well. This person might be walking around the outside of this wood. Might bump into them, so... But I don't actually know if it's a person yet. This is the thing, I can just hear somebody. I was filming on the floor and I heard something off to my left, which definitely sounded like somebody walking through.
When he looked around, there was no one in sight. Shaking it off, they continued setting up for the night.
I've just put the last bits of the wood on the fire, and then it's really cold as well tonight, so I'm going to probably hit the hay quite early. I'm going to lie in the tent, watch some videos.
As they lay in their tent, listening to the rain on the thin fabric, a few strange noises caught their attention.
Guys, take it easy for now, and like I said, I'll see you in the morning. So...
It's not good, is it?
No, I'm not sure what to say really, because for me to be on edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Without saying something. Just listen.
Moments later, they heard footsteps outside the tent. Frozen with fear, they didn't know what or who was out there.
Or we pack away in the rain and the wind,
And then walk through the woods where we can hear people talking.
And make that treacherous journey back in the dark to the car.
What was that?
I don't know.
That was a footprint. Right outside the tent. Someone just stepped outside the tent.
What do you mean someone just stepped outside the tent?
Yeah, it's a footprint right
I
outside.
heard something, but... Right, we're going to pack down as quick as we can because it is raining really, really heavily. And then we've got the however many miles back to the car through the forest in the dark in a location that is renowned for wild men UFO.
As they packed up in the darkness, the eerie sound seemed to follow their every move.
Did you not hear that one?
I heard 3 whistles. 3 whistles.
That was a very...
Just now, like a...
No, it was different. This was like a very short, sharp, high-pitched whistle. Like a... I don't even want to do it. No, I don't want to do it.
They finally reached their car, but the unsettling experience left them feeling rattled and on edge.
I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, if the car's gone, then it wasn't obviously people playing a prank. So then it begs the question, what was we hearing? Was it the wind? I've camped out many times before in bad wind. It's never really sounded like people chattering to that extent. That was like a full-on conversation that I heard back there, so...
Experienced campers Ben and Carrie admitted this encounter was enough to make them stay away for a while. What do you think was lurking in the dark? In December 2014, a man woke up at 2 a.m. to the sound of terrifying screams echoing from the woods behind his house. Curious and alarmed, he went to investigate and ended up capturing some chilling footage. The screams echoed through the forest. In the mix, a child's voice cried out for their dad, and an adult's voice called, "Where are you?" The next day, the man checked the news for answers, but found nothing. Some viewers thought it might have been a kidnapping set up to lure people into the woods. Whatever the truth, the source of those screams remains a mystery. While wandering through a dense forest, a group of friends stumbles upon an old, dried-up well. Curious, they decide to peer inside, and what they find leaves them stunned.
What is this? This is crazy. Oh, it was a well.
It leads into a dungeon.
Oh my god. Whose dungeon is this?
I don't know. There's like...
That is crazy. Who's this belong to, though?
I don't know. What is this pot? This is so creepy.
It is creepy.
We gotta go down the stairs.
More stairs.
Instead of just an empty hole, they find a space that looks like it might have been used as a shelter. Could it be a secret hideout for someone trying to stay hidden? Shortly before Halloween, Dale went on a solo overnight camping trip to Ballyboli Forest, known as one of the most haunted forests in the UK and Ireland.
The channel, everybody. Today we are stealth camping in Ballyboli Forest. Ballyboli Forest is one of the most haunted forests in Ireland, and to be honest, this is one I am freaking out about. It's not ideal, but I'm in a dome tent, so I can really throw it anywhere. I think I'll throw my tent just here. We are a lot further back off the road, so we can't be seen as easy, or we can still hear the car noise. We have a pain, but...
After he arrived at the deserted forest, he put up his tent and had a drink to prepare for the creepy night ahead.
It's that time again, folks. Time for a good old commish. The commish will keep us warm and safe.
As the sun set and the temperature dropped, Dale wandered deeper into the forest for some peace and quiet. Everything felt so calm, and the tall trees with their twisted branches reaching toward the sky made the place seem like a scene from a horror movie.
This is proper Blair Witch here. area is just all the same. You would get lost here very, very handy. But I guess you feel like this.
When he returned to his campsite, he settled in and began to cook a meal. The normal sounds of the forest surrounded him, but soon a strange noise cut through the quiet. As he was getting ready to sleep, he heard footsteps circling his tent. His heart raced. He asked if someone was there, but no one answered.
From there?
With his heart pounding, he decided to step outside and see what was going on. The thought of someone or something being near his tent in the dark would make anyone want to run.
I swear, like, something come past there. Freak myself out now. This is getting a bit too real.
Dale was certain he saw a dark figure pass by, but when he looked around, there was nothing to be seen.
Right, I'm gonna turn these days off for a minute or two. Did you hear that? Did you? My heart's going. Who's out there?
Suddenly, something banged against his tent twice. He shouted again, but no one replied. Whatever it was playing with him. Determined to find out, he rushed outside to look, but the forest was empty. Dale checked the footage on his trail camera through his phone, but there was nothing there. Whatever had been outside left no sign.
I'm literally just inside the door. And get the battery pack inside the tent so I can use the other USB to charge stuff. So this is what we're looking like now. There's a leak in the tent.
Even though he was really shaken up, Dale managed to get through the night. As soon as it was light, he packed his things and left, feeling relieved to be out of there. Moxley has a deep fascination with the paranormal. In this video, he camps overnight in one of the most haunted forests in the UK. People have said they've seen creepy things like missing limbs, bad odors, and ghostly shapes. The forest also has a tragic history. In December 1910, the Pretoria pit disaster killed 344 people. As darkness falls, Moxley sets up his camp, unaware of the terrifying events ahead.
It's turning 9 o'clock in the evening, so I've got a little bit of light before sunset, so let's get up there. Let's find somewhere to camp in. I've got a trek up here to get to where.
At 9 p.m., he heads into the forest, ready for a spooky night. As he settles into his hammock, strange noises begin.
Well, I'm here. I managed to build the tarp. I had to put the camera and everything away. I couldn't even record myself building it. It absolutely started lashing it down. Just chilling for half an hour. And I heard a load of branches cracking. Then I heard mumbling. Then I heard them crackling going past the outside of the tarp. Not too far away, I couldn't see anybody, but...
He hears footsteps and faint voices. Then something rushes through the woods. Moxley goes out to check, but the deeper he goes, the creepier the night becomes.
Like somebody walked this way and past. That's where the Pretoria pit is. That's where the shaft number 3 is just there.
Back at camp, he tries to relax, but at 1 a.m., something hits his hammock and he hears a whisper close to him.
So I've just checked the time. It's 1:10 in the morning. There's something quite heavy just hit the side of the tent. Granted, it could be a branch falling off the tree, but it startled me. I just dozed off.
Moxley kept waking up throughout the night because of different weird sounds.
Just been woke up. To that banging. It stopped.
At 3:40 a.m., a man suddenly appears. He looks into Moxley's hammock and asks why he's there. Moxley feels uneasy right away as the man steps closer, saying he has a camp nearby.
But at 4:05 in the morning, oh, you can see that. So about 20 to 4, you just lay there. In, just to this side of me, just here. Some guy popped his head around. I said, "Hey mate, what are you doing?" I didn't even hear him approaching. I went, "Oh, I'm just camping over for the night." And he come in. He literally just walked in. He just comes in. He's like, "All right, what brings you out here?" I was just like, "Oh, just fancy getting away for the night, mate. Just, what about yourself?" And he went, "Oh, we've got a camp just up the road near the big lake." And I was like, "All right," which was a bit odd because he's up at the big lake. What's he doing over this side where I am?
The man eventually left, but Moxley felt deeply unsettled. Without wasting any time, he packed up and got out of there. It's April 15, 2024. Jason, from the popular YouTube channel The Crockers, is camping alone deep in the woods of Bristol, Oklahoma. What begins as a peaceful trip into nature quickly turns into one of the scariest nights of his life. As night falls, the atmosphere shifts. Dark clouds roll in, thunder echoes in the distance, and rain pours down hard. But this isn't just any storm. Tornado warnings are lighting up phones all over the area, and Jason is right in the path.
New tornado warning has been issued. This is a powerful storm, likely producing a huge tornado right now near Holdenville.
Guys, tornadoes coming in. This is crazy. Holy cow.
By 10:55 p.m., the storm hits its peak. Wind howls through the trees, and rain pounds against the camper. Jason considers making a run for it, but the roads are flooding, and he can barely see. With no other choice, he decides to stay inside, hoping the camper can withstand the storm.
Alright guys, there's truly...
This is happening.
What do I do? So, I'm just gonna stay under here, at least. If something falls, breaks, I got this table above me. Put my helmet on. Oh, I really don't know what to do.
Take shelter. New tornado warning. That also does include sulfur. Okay, your sulfur is now officially under.
Jason crawled under the table, the safest spot he could find, gripping tight as the storm battered his camper. Then, suddenly, everything went quiet. The storm had finally passed. Shaken but alive, Jason stepped outside to see the damage. Debris was everywhere, and trees were snapped like twigs, but he had survived. He had just lived through every camper's worst nightmare, alone in the wild, stuck in the middle of a tornado's fury. What would you have done in Jason's place? Tried to run or stayed put and hoped for the best? Marshall loves building shelters and spending time in the woods. His shelter building skills are pretty impressive, and he often camps overnight in them, but when you're in the forest, you're never alone. It's like you're just visiting someone else's home surrounded by wildlife. In this video, he's back at it, working on his latest shelter. He cooked a meal, letting the smell drift through the air. By the time he finished eating, night had fallen, and he was getting ready for bed. But soon, some unexpected visitors arrived at his shelter. The bears probably came because of the smell of the food he had cooked earlier. They didn't find anything and eventually left. Even though it was a risky situation, he stayed inside. Later, he stepped outside to look around, but didn't see anything. But when he checked the footage from his camera, he realized just how close the bears had been. Kevin's calm camping trip took a scary turn when he was jolted awake by a bright light cutting through the darkness. Shaken, he grabbed his camera to record the strange sight.
And I got the camera aiming out the window, and I don't know if you guys can see anything that's going on over there, or if you can even see their campfire. But they're shining the light all around. I think they heard something. And I wonder if something is going to be messing with them tonight. They are definitely looking for something.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Kevin chose to leave and head to South Valley State Forest, hoping to find some safety and finish his trip. But his nightmare was just beginning.
See, remember this from my other video? South Valley State Forest. I think I'm going to lock up the van and I'm going to spend the night here, and then I'll go home from here in the morning. Unless I see weird lights here or something rocks the van, or who knows. But this is where I'm going to spend the night. Anybody could come along. But I'm going to lock myself in the van, and because you guys, I came to camp, you know, and I don't like just taking off and going home, but man, you guys, oh my God, hold on. You guys, I'm not joking. I don't even have my, shoes on. I'm driving in my socks. The van was attacked. I thought I was dreaming. I fell asleep. I was sound asleep, and then something woke me up. It was loud as hell.
As he tried to settle in for the night, the van suddenly started shaking hard, like something big was outside. Kevin didn't waste a second. He jumped behind the wheel and took off. Some say it was probably a wild animal, but others think it could have been Bigfoot. What do you think was following Kevin in the woods? On March 4th, 2023, it was a cold day in Alaska. Luke, from the popular YouTube channel Outdoor Boys, is known for his family-friendly camping and hunting videos. This time, he's heading into the tough Alaskan wilderness with his 5-year-old son, Jake, for a camping trip.
Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and me and my son Jake, we're taking my snow dog out into the wilderness of Alaska to go winter camping in a hammock hot tent. We're gonna be eating some amazing food, having a great time, and trying not to get eaten by wolves.
It begins like any other trip, setting up camp, building a fire, and enjoying the calm of nature. But as night falls, something unexpected happens, turning this peaceful outing into a frightening experience.
Fireplace turned around so I can work on it a bit. You hear that?
An eerie noise echoes through the trees and grows louder. It's the unmistakable sound of wolves, and they're far too close. Luke knows he can't make a sound. One wrong move could be serious. Thankfully, the danger passes, and they make it through the night. But the fear of what could have happened lingers in the cold air.
Use my inReach to send a message to my wife, let her know we didn't get eaten by wolves.
This experience is a clear reminder of how important it is to stay alert, especially when camping in the wild. It's unsettling to think how often we take the safety of our daily lives for granted. If Luke hadn't kept silent, things could have gone very differently. On June 1st, 2024, a woman was camping near her bungalow and went for a walk with her dog in the woods. What began as a quiet walk turned scary when a strange, eerie sound echoed from deep in the trees. Feeling a surge of fear, she started recording, just in case.
Parece puma. Y yo estoy cerquita. ¡Mamá! ¡Mami! ¡Aquí anda! ¡Aquí anda! ¡Ay, mamá! El chupacabra.
When the video was posted online, theories filled the comments. Some thought the noise came from a strange creature in the woods, while others said it was probably a fox or another animal. But no one really knows what caused it. One thing was clear, she had no intention of ever going back to those woods. Meet Wayne, the creator behind the YouTube channel Wayne the Bearded Explorer. He shares thrilling adventures exploring abandoned and remote places around the world. His storytelling style draws viewers in, capturing the eerie beauty of these forgotten spots. But on December 19th, 2024, Wayne and his friend Demo would discover how unsettling these trips could get. Arriving at a remote spot in the UK with just his camera, Wayne was ready to explore. Neither of them could have guessed what would happen as night fell.
They've got holes in them, so that's great.
Oh, nice. That's handy.
So they're not doing jack. Right. So
there's a arrow on the tree.
Coming round.
What's that?
Turning a big light off.
It's glow in the dark paint.
That was when the first arrow shot past them. From then on, the night only got darker and more unsettling.
Okay, that's weird.
Is that something?
There's something there, hang on. What's that say? Yeah, turn you. Oh, for sake. That says ha. Ha. Ha ha.
I think that says run.
Run? Hang on, let me turn that off.
Ha.
Oh yeah, I can see that angle.
Right there,
yeah.
I think.
Oh, I can see that angle. That says run. This kind of just doesn't go anywhere. Hang on.
No.
Let me get.
Is it like a teepee?
Oh, there's a teepee.
That's cute.
The more signs they found, the more eerie but strangely fascinating the experience became. Driven by curiosity, they followed the arrows deeper into the woods, unaware that something far more sinister was ahead.
That's the... hang on, let me turn...
I think that's the lid for the...
Is that the lid for the paint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what worries me?
What? We need to be careful.
Someone's done it.
Yeah. Okay, right. So... Oh God, I'm blind.
They soon spotted fresh paint on a tree, but what really caught their eye was a strange object lying nearby, something they couldn't quite figure out. Before they could make sense of it, something completely unexpected happened.
That's weird. There's a torch up there. Grab it. Go. This way.
Oh, my camera's died again.
This way.
What way? Oh, I ran the wrong way.
Which way are we going?
Oh, come on.
Someone was out there, following them. They first saw a flickering torchlight, then heard a voice. In that chilling moment, they knew they weren't alone. Panic took over, and Wayne and Demo ran, knowing someone was right behind them. But the night wasn't over yet. What lay ahead was beyond anything they could have imagined.
You hear that?
What?
It's laughing. This way. You over?
Yeah.
He's there.
What?
He's there. Nope.
The man's behavior became more unsettling. He ran ahead, his eerie laughter echoing in the woods, clearly trying to scare them. Wayne and his friend raced back to their car, slamming the doors shut, hearts pounding with adrenaline and fear.
We got way out of there and pretty much drove halfway home now.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've had a little chin wag of what the hell's gone on, but Damo did pick up what was on the floor.
Yeah, near the tree.
And it's a ring box.
The night ended when Wayne showed the camera what his friend had picked up. It was a ring box, adding to the mystery of who had left it and why.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
The ring had an odd design, adding to the night's mystery. As the video ended, one question remained. Who was that man, and what did he really want? Rob Call. Nature is an outdoor channel where the creator shares his camping adventures, often pushing himself with challenges like sleeping without a fire or shelter. This time, he wanted to explore a place on the map called Viking Tomb, which had no photos online. Curious, he drove as far as he could, and then continued on foot since the site was deep in the woods. After walking for a while, he turned around and saw a few people taking pictures of his car.
Search on Google Earth. If you get close enough to the terrain, there always pops up points of interest, and by pure luck, in the middle of the woods suddenly popped up a point of interest, and it read Viking Tomb. So I clicked on it, and only one picture taken from that Viking Tomb. So I thought that place we have to visit. I just parked my car on the closest road to this place. That's weird. Why would they do that? That really bothered me. Why would they take pictures of my car? So, we have to head due west. When I unpacked my car, there drove a car by. They slowed down pretty much when they saw me. And just now, before I left the road into the woods, they made another round and took a picture of my license plate. Maybe it was the landowner. Maybe they thought I was a poacher.
After a long hike, he finally reached the Viking tomb and set up his hammock. As he was getting ready, snow began to fall, turning the forest into a quiet and almost dreamlike scene.
11 o'clock, and I've been laying here for about 4 hours. The wind is really cooling down this shelter, even though I'm all tucked in, and I've got hand warmers, 4 of them. I just can't seem to get warm, so I'm just laying here, shivering. I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Am I hypothermic? No, but it's really uncomfortably cold. We are going to get up, back up, and hike out in the night.
He tried to tough it out, but the night just got colder and colder. The temperature dropped fast, and soon he was freezing. After thinking it over, he decided it was too dangerous to stay. So he packed up and headed back to his car, planning to try again another, hopefully warmer night. But when he finally reached his car, he saw something he wasn't ready for.
Well, I found her. My princess in shiny armor. Well, someone has been interested in my car. I knew there was something off. These are not my footprints. The left one is mine, and the right one is the visitor in the night. When we headed out, someone took a picture of my car. Well, maybe they're as curious as I am. Well, that's the... let's just get out of here.
He noticed fresh footprints in the snow and felt a chill run down his spine. Since it had been snowing the whole time he was at the tomb, he knew these tracks were fresh. Whoever left them was probably still around. Feeling like he was being watched, he jumped into his car and drove off as quickly as he could. This is Oliver, known for his YouTube channel, Firefly Fishing, where he shares his passion for fly fishing in beautiful remote spots. This time, he's headed to Yellowstone National Park, one of the most famous parks in the country.
If you guys have never been to Yellowstone National Park, welcome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We have a sweet adventure in front of us today. Gonna go explore some rivers, explore some hikes, and not block the Yellowstone sign anymore.
Yellowstone is the world's first national park, famous for its 2.2 million acres, geysers like Old Faithful, and beautiful landscapes. It's perfect for fishing. On July 29, 2022, Oliver heads to the Yellowstone River. It's a sunny, warm day, and after hours with no luck, he finally catches a beautiful fish just before packing up.
It's been a long day, guys. Not a whole lot of luck fishing. However, can't beat being in Yellowstone National.
Tired from the day, he heads back to his car to find a place to park for the night. He knows camping outside designated spots isn't allowed, but he decides to do it anyway.
It's about the best we got, guys. There's not a whole lot of cover, so if someone comes down here, I mean, we are sticking out in the open. I'm not gonna dare go off any side trail or anything like that. We're gonna stay here.
After a long drive, Oliver finds a quiet, secluded spot in the woods to park his camper.
Nice, look at this beautiful spot. Riverside camping, guys, in Yellowstone. Can't really beat that. Wow. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get back to the truck. Just take it easy for the rest of the night.
Ready to settle in for the night, he has no idea that his peaceful evening is about to be disturbed.
Last little bit here. It just got dark here, so I decided to hop in the back of the truck now, as I was getting pretty terrified with the grizzlies and all that good stuff, guys. Fingers crossed nothing happens in the rest of the night. It's been a pretty good night so far, pretty good day. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's been an awesome adventure. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, and I'll wake you up if anything else goes on the rest of the night, but I think we're looking all right, so.
Around 12:30 a.m., Oliver wakes up to a car approaching. Grabbing his bear spray and phone, he braces for trouble. A loud knock on the truck and a flashlight through the window leave him scared and unsure of who's out there.
Hey, anyone vehicle, Officer Tyler. You're here, man. How are you? Coming, sir.
Hey, dude, sorry to bother you, man. It's a little late.
No worries.
Fortunately, there's no camping in here. Are you the only one in the vehicle, brother?
It's just me, man.
All right, can you step out? You got a license on you, brother?
Dude, I'll have to get my wallet, man.
You do anything? You okay?
Yeah,
from,
man,
brother?
just, actually out of Boise. Just doing some camping. I did not know it was illegal.
Yeah, dude, so unfortunately you can't camp in Yellowstone at this place. You're gonna have to get off.
No problem. I do apologize.
No, you're good. Can you see ID, brother?
Yeah, here.
Soon, he realizes it's just a park ranger on a routine patrol. Oliver acts like he didn't know he wasn't allowed to camp there, and he's lucky. He only gets a warning.
Well, that was absolutely terrifying. I'm so thankful we got off with a warning there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Do I recommend stealth camping Yellowstone? Absolutely not. So, anyways, guys, I will see you in the next one.
Oliver leaves Yellowstone, promising himself he'll never come back, at least not to stealth camp again. Meet Jake, the popular YouTuber behind the channel Jake Ghost Hunter, where he shares his explorations of haunted, abandoned places. In June 2024, he and a friend headed to the ruins of the old Liberty High School in Ohio City, Ohio. They didn't know it yet, but this would turn out to be one of the most unsettling experiences of their lives.
Holy well. Someone just got thrown, dog. What?
Can you walk towards us?
Whoa, bat.
Where, dude?
Bird.
What the hell was that?
It's a bat, I think.
It is a bat. Oh.
Oh no, this is...
Just minutes after stepping inside, the place already felt off. Faint movements echoed in the dark hallways, but they brushed it off and kept going. Still, that creeping sense of unease was hard to ignore.
If you could just speak into that device on the table, that'd be cool. Can you tell me who you are? It said rewind at the end, dude. It wants me to rewind. Jake! Oh my god, Jake! Was that inside?
Yeah.
Get down here now. Now get down here, dude.
No, you come with me, bro. That was on my level.
Call the cops on my phone now. Call the cops. Call the cops.
Then, out of nowhere, they heard gunshots. Terrified and knowing it was too risky to stay, they bolted from the building and called the police right away. The officers got there fast and went inside to check it out, but they didn't know that what they'd find would be way more than just someone up to no good.
Did you hear it over here? Like I heard it on that staircase.
I heard the noises, like, I don't know, because I was in the damn box. So
you didn't hear the noises? Like the...
That's why I screamed.
Jake! I was literally in that window doing an EVP session, and they were right here. And dude, your thing said homicide twice. Your device said homicide twice.
Are you serious?
For real?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Let me just...
For real?
So right there on the second floor,
Yes.
we were looking this way. I heard pitter patter, like that, along that, what would that be? The east wall? Yeah. And then he hears it at the end of the hallway, and as I'm taking my light down, I see something go, like dart across.
Are you?
Swear.
Do you have
And then
body
we were
cam?
like, no. But we were talking about you guys, we were like, let's just black out for a second.
Moments later, the officers came running out, clearly shaken and terrified. Whatever was in that building had convinced even them that something beyond explanation was there. Afterward, Jake, his friend, and the officers all left the site, wanting nothing to do with whatever had caused the disturbance. Despite this chilling experience, the truth of what happened that night still remains a mystery. Anderson Giddis is a passionate angler who shares his fishing trips, taking viewers to remote spots and showing the thrill of the catch and nature's beauty. His exciting storytelling keeps fans hooked. One calm day, Anderson arrived at a remote spot ready for a kayak fishing adventure. With his gear and camera, he started by catching several fish, releasing some back while admiring them.
Garoto! Lindo, lindo, lindo. Aí. Bom que com anzol inline é fácil de soltar. Ó. E ainda amassou o anzolzinho. Mas veio. Vai embora. Vem cá, garoto.
Do rio, né?
É.
Pequeno não sai do rio da Bahia, né?
Não sai. Aí. Mais quadradinho, já bonito. Vai embora.
Fishing in the shallow waters without any warning, Anderson didn't realize what was below. Then suddenly, his line tightened with a catch much stronger than he expected.
Que foi isso? Que foi isso? Ué, que foi? Peguei alguma coisa aqui. Peguei alguma coisa aqui. É um boto, será? Não. Caramba. Olha aí. É grande, é grande. É grande. Levantar. Nossa, meu Deus do céu. É um monstro de um jacaré. Caramba, cara. Meu Deus, e agora, Jesus? Meu Deus do céu, é muito grande, cara. É muito grande. É muito grande. Parceiro do céu, ajuda. Esse é grande, cara. É maior que o seu caiaque. Caramba, cara, olha o tamanho desse cara. Tá me rebocando, meu irmão. Caramba, e agora? Tá muito perto. Olha o tamanho. E agora? Caramba. Meu Deus do céu, cadê ele? Pra onde que ele vai? Caramba. Ele tá bem aqui embaixo de mim, cara. Caramba, Charles, ó.
Tá indo pro meio?
Não sei, ele tá afundando. Pega minhas varas aqui do meu caiaque, cara. Caramba.
At that moment, Anderson realized he'd caught something huge, and fear hit him hard. His voice shook with excitement and terror as he described the massive animal creating bubbles under his kayak. He kept saying in fear that the creature was right beneath him, feeling very vulnerable in his small kayak. The creature was so big, it was almost the same size as the kayak itself.
Faz um tempão e não acaba as bolhas dele, cara. Olha o tamanho disso. Pera aí. Uia. Bateu de novo o rabo dele no caiaque. Agora ele se mexeu. Ó.
As time went on, the situation grew more tense. The animal kept making bubbles, showing how big and close it was. Anderson's voice shook as he watched the bubbling continue. Despite trying to reel it in, the creature stayed hooked. He said he was turning the camera on and off to save battery because the fight was lasting longer than he thought.
Aham. Eu não quero deixar ele... Caramba, caramba, caramba. Tá girando o caiaque. Olha a força desse bicho, cara. Olha a força desse animal. Se liga nisso, cara. Meu Deus do céu. Silvano varas custam. Não aguenta? Hã? Fala pra mim. Esse molinete é 2.500.
Acho que ele tá grudado no fundo. Tá não.
Tá não, certo?
Tá não.
Tá não?
Então, se ele tiver tendo que fazer força.
The tension rose as Anderson realized the creature might be trying to break free. His voice mixed fear and curiosity about what he had caught.
É, não tem.
O único jeito é se o caiaque tivesse apoitado, alguma coisa assim. Encrenca, hein?
Encrenco. Olha o tanto de bolha que ele tá soltando aqui. Aí, ó. Tá soltando bolha. Tá soltando bolha, galera. Eu tô...
Eventually, the bait broke, letting the creature escape. Anderson showed the damaged bait to the camera. Though he lost some gear, he was relieved the encounter ended without more trouble.
Olha de bolha, cara. Tá afrouxando. Ó. Ó. Vai tomar. Vai levar. Tá levando. Tá levando. Tá levando. Arrebentou. Arrebentou. Olha ele ali, ó. Olha ele ali, ó. Só veio pra tirar sarro e soltou minha isca. Partiu no meio, cara. Partiu no meio. Olha o tamanho da criança.
Ele vai sair do seco, hein? Foi não.
Caramba, ó, partiu a isca no meio. Caramba, meu. Olha. Olha o estrago da isca. Esmagou ela todinha. E partiu do meio. Olha aí lá, ó as bolhas dele lá, ó. Olha ele ali, ó.
Anderson ended his video feeling proud, despite the scary experience. He was thankful to have come through it unharmed. Though his trip was safe, one question stayed. What was that huge creature? Was it an alligator, a crocodile, or something else? Meet Sarah, the creator of Let's Turn It Up World. She shares her travels to beautiful camping spots, showing the ups and downs of RV life. Known for her honest storytelling, she keeps viewers hooked. On an autumn day in 2023, Sarah arrived in Nevada, ready for her first solo camping trip without her partner Dave. With just her camera and determination, she set out to test some heat repairs on their RV, Desert Snow. The video begins with Sarah explaining her plan for the trip.
Definitely grab some of this Dover sole, and tonight I'm gonna definitely have one of those wild ahi tunas right on. Like a 2-hour drive from here to Valley of Fire. I'm just fingers crossed because it's a little later in the day. I hope I actually can get a spot. So I'm gonna try and rush this. At least I have coffee to give me a load of energy. Got my coffee in the hand. Buckle up, buckle up. We got a 2-hour drive and we gotta get going.
Without stopping or hesitating, Sarah hit the road with her coffee in hand. When she reached the Valley of Fire, she felt a rush of awe. Seeing the red rocks, her nervousness about driving alone faded for a moment, replaced by excitement.
Now I'm officially on the road. I punched in the directions. It says I should get there about 5 o'clock. I remember and love this part of the drive going into the Valley of Fire from this direction. You're like surrounded by these beautiful rocks, and I think as we start getting closer and closer, and now the sun may be setting so you don't really capture that glow, but you get that red rock, that Valley of Fire. Here we go, rolling into Atlatl Rock Campground. It looks pretty busy in here. It actually looks really busy in here. It is pretty busy. Oh my goodness gracious. Are we gonna find a spot? Maybe someone will share a spot with me this evening. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, they're really sort of full. I think I see one.
As darkness approached, her situation became more difficult. With no camping spots left, she ended up at a truck stop 14 miles from the Valley of Fire. After checking with an officer that it was safe to park, she settled in for the night, determined to make the best of it despite the unexpected change.
Traveling on my own here, could not find a spot to save me at the Valley of Fire. So ended up here at sort of this truck stop. I asked the officer if it was kind of safe to park here, and he said it was fine. And now I have the heat on, so I'm trying to run the heat. A little cold outside, it's about 30, so not terrible outside. But I do have the heat on. I cranked up to 70 right now. I can hear it, so I think technically from what we were told, it's supposed to crank, and then once it gets to 70 degrees, it's gonna be quiet for us.
As the temperature dropped to around 30 degrees, Sarah turned on the RV heater and set it to 70 degrees. At first, it worked well, warming the whole RV, but she didn't realize a bigger challenge was coming.
No! look, it has happened. There it goes, W27H. I gotta call Dave right now. Oh no. How you doing? I'm sitting here, I heard it crank, it turned on a 70. I thought it was fine because it slowed down a bit, and then all of a sudden W27H and the fan surfaced again. It was like pushing through. So there is something going on with this. Maybe it's the unit itself. I have no idea. All right, well, I'm gonna leave it running because I know that's what you're supposed to do, but we'll figure it out. I love you. I'll talk to you.
What happened next filled her with frustration. The RV heater showed an error code W27H, the same problem they thought was fixed. Panic and disappointment hit as she realized the issue was back, and she was all alone to handle it.
Okay, so today has been like just one thing after another. These loud banging noises outside the RV in this creepy parking lot that just turned out to be fireworks. You know, from not being able to get a spot over at Valley of Fire to ending up here at this spot, which is a little creepy. And I can deal with that. All the trucks, you can hear them still coming in and out. But to see that error message, the heat, we've been having issues with the heat for quite some time. And to see that error message again just resurface even after, it's so frustrating.
Now facing one problem after another, no campsite, a creepy parking lot, and a broken heater, Sarah's emotions overwhelmed her, and she broke down in tears. But she stayed strong, keeping the heat on to see if it would work. She spent the rest of the night getting ready for bed, unsure of what the next day would bring. The next morning, Sarah woke up ready to try again. She drove back to Valley of Fire early, hoping a spot would open. This time, luck was on her side. She found a campsite, parked her RV, and felt proud and relieved.
Thank you. First time by myself, so I'm just learning the ways. Okay, the buildup is killing me right now. I have now entered back to where I came last night. I think I found a spot. It looks like this might be a spot. Perfect. Oh my God. I did that like I've done that a million times before. And I haven't, so high five myself. Can I just stop here, soak in the sun, and take in this moment of relief, of coming here and finding a spot. Now, it may not be the spot we had last time, which was pretty amazing, but it's great to be back here at Valley of Fire, to actually have a spot, and it's actually a cool spot, and to see this red rock once again. I'm gonna finish this coffee before I make the next one, and then I'm gonna set up camp, just veg before lunchtime.
Sarah spent the day exploring trails near her campsite, finding walk-in tent sites she hadn't seen before, and enjoying simple treats like watermelon and pork rinds in the beautiful setting.
It's a new day, and it's a great day because one, I got a spot in one of my favorite places here, the Valley of Fire, and it's gonna be awesome. And I got something special for dinner tonight, but I have to definitely clean up in here a little bit, and I think I'm gonna go for a walk to stay accountable to myself to lose some of the love weight. So I honestly can't even tell you why I chose this as a snack. I mean, watermelon and pork rinds, but that was the first thing that came to my hands from the refrigerator. So that is the snack we're going with. And most likely this is the type of snack that only I would eat anyway. So I'm on the phone. Hello, everybody. Hey, hello. I was telling them the only thing missing is you. All right. Hey, everybody. Dinner came out great, by the way. Check it out. The tuna. Look at that.
You're eating some gourmet stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know what? Well, I'm going to get back to my gourmet food before it gets borscht-y cold, but I wanted to call and tell you you're missed for sure.
As evening came, Sarah had a snack, then cooked a gourmet dinner of marinated ahi tuna on her induction cooktop. It turned out perfectly. She FaceTimed Dave to share the moment, saying he was the only thing missing from an otherwise perfect night.
I didn't freak. I was like, this is going to be fine. It's gonna be taken care of. And I left the heat on and it still stayed toasty warm in there, even with the error message. So that's great. I've gotten through that part. Everything tends to happen for a reason, and this is quite an experience for me. I love it. I thought it was a lot of fun. So we did find a tenting spot. So I told Dave, you know, instead of leaving, why don't we kind of bring the tent and crank it out and see how our tent can handle the desert at night. Probably a little more creepy because there's more animals and more little critters in the desert, but it should be fun.
The video ends with Sarah sharing that, even though the heater error showed up again that night, she stayed calm and warm. She talked about gaining confidence by facing the challenges instead of letting them take over. Despite the tough first solo trip, the big question remains, would she do it again? One thing's for sure, she won't approach her next trip the same way. Nomad Unknown, a solo traveler who shares her car camping adventures, was exploring the wild Alia Trail in Louisiana. She found a great spot to set up camp, but as she was checking the area, she saw something that made her feel uneasy.
You ever just come across somebody and the energy is just off? That is what's been happening to me a little bit today. I'm about 3 miles in and I found this spot that I would really love to camp. But just as I was getting here, I saw somebody that I've seen twice already today. The first time I saw him, he only had a water bottle in his hand, no backpack or anything. And I saw him at the trailhead where I parked my car as I was still pulling things out of my car. And at that point, as soon as he saw me, he sort of turned around and headed back onto the trail. I've seen him 4 times, I just realized. And then I saw him as I was hiking. I'd started with my pack up the trail, and he came from behind me, still with just the water bottle. And I didn't hear him at first, but it kind of startled me a little bit. So I moved over to let him go past, and that time was the first time I said, "Oh, hello." And he just said, "Hi." The next time I saw him, he was at a crossroads, and it looked like he was loading things into his car to leave. But I guess he was pulling a backpack out because even though I didn't say anything to him at that point, I literally just got across this bridge that's behind me and it was filming some of the wild azaleas. And there he came from behind me again. This time with the backpack on, like an overnight backpack. And I said, "Oh, hello again." I might have even filmed that, although I didn't film him. And again, he just said, "Hi." There's nothing concrete that's wrong with any of that, but it's...
Was he following her? After she decided to leave and find a new spot, she saw something that sent chills down her spine.
I was looking across that, you see... There's the bridge, you can see that. And then the backpack's right there. I was thinking I was going to camp over there. But I looked over and I saw this area here, the clearing. And I thought, you know what, that's a bit more hidden from trail. I might feel more comfortable and secure over there. So I came over. Why is there a trail cam pointing to that campsite? I don't really know how those things work. Maybe it's not visible on the camera, but like, what else is it pointing at? Okay. The heck?
A trail cam was aimed straight at her campsite. Maybe it was a coincidence, but it was enough to make her feel really uneasy.
Like, here's the trail cam. What is it pointing at? Putting my camera right behind. My backpack is right there. That's where we're gonna camp. Like, that's an established campsite. Looks like this one is too, but what the heck is going on here? First, weird energy. Second, a trail cam pointed at a campsite? I think, yeah, I think 1 strike, 2 strike. I gotta get out of here before 3 strikes.
Alone in the woods and with no way to defend herself, she trusted her gut. She packed up quickly and left, knowing that whatever was going on, it wasn't worth the risk to stay. Meet Tommy and Rachel, the couple behind Oreo Unsettling Sound Speedwagon RT, a YouTube channel where they take viewers deep into America's wild places. With their dog, Badger, always by their side, they share stories of van life, from beautiful, quiet landscapes to the occasional strange encounter. One day, they arrived at Tishomingo Wildlife Management Area, looking forward to another calm night in their van. They had their camera and were ready for another peaceful evening filled with nature's usual sounds. But as Tommy talks on camera, something feels off, setting the stage for a strange and mysterious experience.
He's running around being Badger, obviously. But he's been very skittish since we got here. Yeah. Like, he'll just take off running and not like doing zoomies running like.
Yeah.
No, he's doing that.
Yeah, no, he'll come down here. He won't go any further.
No, and then he'll like get all skittish and run off.
They first noticed Badger acting weird. He kept running away from certain areas and wouldn't go near certain parts of the woods. It was totally unlike him compared to other trips they'd done.
But he's been very skittish since we got here. Yeah. Like, he'll just take off running, doing zoomies running like. Yeah. No, we've been out in the woods a lot. We know the sounds. What we're hearing are not regular sounds. And usually you can hear birds, you can hear critters. But when you're hearing other noises and you're not hearing critters.
That's when the weirdest part of it all sank in. They'd hear odd sounds like a duck, but no other forest noises. No rustling leaves, no birds, nothing. The contrast was unsettling, and it made them wonder if something they couldn't see was behind both the silence and Badger's fear.
I mean, do you feel like that, honey?
What?
Like we need to go somewhere else?
No.
Yeah.
It's just strange sound.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't heard critters. I mean, we heard a duck, but we haven't heard critters.
I just heard something.
Yeah, it's... I don't know.
Maybe we're freaking ourselves out.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't let myself get freaked out.
Yeah.
Because I know for 99.99 things that you hear, that there's a
As they stayed there longer, the area felt even creepier. Tommy said he kept hearing strange noises across the lake that didn't sound like any animals they knew.
noises across the lake. I'll walk down here and see.
But then Rachel heard something Tommy didn't, something that added to the tension and made the whole situation feel even more dangerous, like there was something in those woods they couldn't see.
Now he'll come over here, but he won't go over there.
Yeah, over there, he's like, nope. See, you know, we have no problem running off, or not running off. We have no problem starting the van and driving out of here and going to find another place to stay. I don't feel like we're gonna have to do that. I mean, do you feel like that, honey?
What?
Like we need to go somewhere else?
Tommy couldn't let it go. He had to see what was out there, even though he felt more and more uneasy. Determined to document what was happening, he switched on their LED lights and stepped outside the van, hoping to see what was behind the creepy sounds.
So, let me turn the LED lights on real quick. Well, all good so far, I guess.
What happened next only made things worse. Badger, who was usually brave and playful, climbed onto Rachel's lap, shaking and clearly scared of whatever was outside. Tommy and Rachel both grew more uneasy as they noticed that Badger wouldn't take his eyes off one spot in the dark.
We were on the phone and found another wildlife area, actually pretty close to the one we were at, so we decided to
Though they managed to stay through the night, the experience was enough to convince them to leave. They got on the phone and found another wildlife area to head to instead. One question still bothered them. What had caused those strange noises, and why was Badger so terrified? Was it just some animal they'd never run into before, or was there something more sinister in those woods? The truth of that night is still a mystery.
Came down here. Well, the fish here have just been jumping all day. Of course, it's raining right now, so it's kind of slowed everything down. But one thing about this rain, I love the sound of rain on the forest floor. I love the, like rain on a tent.
Their experience is a clear reminder that sometimes our pets' instincts are the best early warning system we have out in the wild. Meet Dave, the creator of Dave Explores. He takes viewers to abandoned mines and forgotten places across remote areas, uncovering pieces of America's industrial past. With his clear, observant style, he keeps viewers hooked. One day, Dave arrived at a remote canyon to explore the abandoned Mountain Boy mine. Just as he began, something unexpected happened.
The metal rails, of course, following them along. I believe that was the main mine, what we had ran into just now. There is a neat log cabin. I say we go check out real quick. Look around us too. It is a smoky day.
Other explorers showed up at the same remote spot. The mood shifted as both groups tried to handle the awkward situation, each cautious of the other.
So I have to look at that one too. And check it out. Interestingly, here's a trail that goes to the cabin. That's how you know it gets visitors. Miners' cabins. There's just 2 individual rooms. Not anything inside of them. They're definitely weathered away. Looking back at the main mine, what's interesting is when you look up this mountain, I'm not sure if you could see it or not, but right here is waste rock. It's kind of difficult to see with all the smoke, but that means there's an adit up there. It doesn't look like a significant amount of waste rock, but definitely more than just a testing pit.
Even with the surprise visitors, Dave kept exploring the mine entrance, only to find it had been collapsed for a long time.
Come on, keep going. Don't need more mine explorers around here. Both on public land. Both have the same idea. Let's go explore some abandoned mines, but just waiting it out. Dun 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 dun. Oh.
What followed was an awkward dance between Dave and the other explorers, each waiting for the other to finish before checking different parts of the site.
Maybe I can now go check out this mine that I've been wanting to check out. Yeah, I don't hear no one. So, you got the rails collapsed in. It's definitely going to be a sketchy one. That's the adit. With enough work, you could dig it out and get into it. And I would trust it somewhat because of these roots. It's all rooted. There's trees above it. But that's collapsed in. It's not going to be open for a long time.
Dave went back to explore more and found another cabin with furniture still in good shape. The beds were missing mattresses, but shelves and household items were still there.
We're done right here. Now we're going to head down, check out the rest of this stuff. This is just a production section. And we'll keep going. There's the first cabin that we've seen. And then next to it is another one. No way anyone's driving on here. What's funny about this mining claim is that the only mine that's even here has been closed off. We just looked at it and there's no way in. So clearly they haven't been doing very much mining and they haven't been very successful in their ventures. But this is a neat building. There's a bed right here with all this stuff left behind too.
Dave noticed the corrugated metal roof was still in good shape and saw trees growing right on old access roads, showing how long the place had been abandoned.
Some shelving. Look at that. Food King detergent, all purpose. There's tons left. And nobody get after me about this because I know damn well those people who were here too, they went in all these buildings that I went in. So if you want to go after someone, the size of these logs, they're humongous. And the old furnace stove pipe. Ah, nice chair. What is it, an electric chair? Why does it have a light bulb on it? That's interesting. But yeah, we'll leave this cabin now. Look at the outside of it. The roof isn't too bad. It's this corrugated metal. Then coming up, old Miners Road right here. No mine operation up there. It kind of just trails out.
Dave checked out another cabin and found a strange electric chair with a light bulb on it, adding to the site's mysterious artifacts.
This does seem like a somewhat well-visited mine operation, just based off the trails. Every single one of these cabins I'm going to, an indication of that is if there's trails from people walking around them. And just how I am, there's a trail right here. There's someone ahead of me, and they happened to turn off the same forest road I needed to turn off. I was following Google Maps, and then we ended up on the same forest road. I was driving behind them, and I was just hoping, okay, take a left, take a right, because there's all these intersections we were coming up. As we were driving, the dude finally let me pass because I had a smaller vehicle. I was going faster than him. So I managed to drive up this. They were out of sight, so I kind of assumed they already arrived at whatever destination they were going to on these four-wheel trails. No, what happened was I hit the mine operation.
Dave noticed the buildings were made with thick clay-like material packed into the walls, a common building method in Idaho back then.
And it was funny though, because as I was exploring, I was kind of looking out going like, damn, is this kind of sketchy, you know? Like, what if there's some sort of, you know, it's public land, but people like to say, oh, this is private property, even though it's public. And they were thinking the same thing, trespassing. And then the moment I looked away, they were gone. I'm walking back after the buildings, and they're inside one of the cabins. It was just funny, though. So I ended up coming back to the vehicle. I wanted to check out that mine. They came up wanting to check out that mine at the same time. We waited it out. They ended up going up the mountain. And by the time I left, they headed back down and started checking out that mine area. You know, that's what happens, you know. You go out exploring. Sometimes you run into people. I've never had that experience. This is big middle of nowhere places where there's probably nobody else who's going to come up here today. It's that desolate of a place. It's just weird that it just happens to be at the same exact time somebody else hits up the road at the same time as you.
In the final part, Dave shared the full story of the strange meeting with the other explorers. They had both taken the same route up the canyon and arrived at the remote spot at the same time. Both were unsure about the other's intentions. The real mystery of Mountain Mine isn't just the abandoned site, but why mining claims are still kept on a collapsed mine. While ghost stories can be scary, it's the people you meet in these lonely places that often cause the most tension. Luckily, Dave's meetings stayed peaceful, though awkward. Jelly Official is an Indonesian YouTuber who's really into camping and outdoor adventures. In this video, he heads into a forest that's said to be haunted. He kicks things off solo on this spooky journey.
Kiri ini memang hutan asri ya, hutan yang benar-benar
As night settled in, he started feeling like maybe he wasn't alone. Weird noises, like footsteps in the bushes, began to echo around him. At first, he figured it was probably just an animal, but that was only the beginning of some strange things to come.
dari dalam hutan, teman-teman. Siapa kamu? Siapa kamu? Ini hewan buas bukan sih, teman-teman? Loh? Suara anak kecil, teman-teman. Astagfirullahaladzim, la ilaha illallah. Di mana kamu, Dek? Siapa kamu? Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullahaladzim.
Even though there was no one in sight, he suddenly heard the soft, unmistakable voice of a child singing. Gripping his machete tightly, he got ready to defend himself from whatever might be out there. But fear held him back from actually going out to face whatever was lurking in the dark. At one point, he thought he heard a tiger growling, but in his panic, it might have just been his imagination. Overcome with fear, he quickly gathered his stuff and got out of there. This clip is from the YouTube channel Project Darkwood, where Don shares all kinds of travel and nature adventures. On June 26, 2013, Don set up some trail cameras in a forest in Georgia, hoping to get cool wildlife shots. A week later, he went back to grab the cameras, excited to see what had been caught. But when he checked the footage, he found something totally unexpected. eerie, unexplainable screams echoed from deep in the woods, sending chills down his spine. But that wasn't all. As Don kept watching, he discovered even more unsettling sounds throughout the footage. Amid the peaceful chirping of birds, a creepy, almost siren-like wail sound suddenly cuts through the air. Moments later, branches snap, followed by a strange growl right next to one of Don's cameras, making everything even more tense. Don showed the footage to friends and family, but to this day, no one has been able to explain where those terrifying sounds came from. The mystery is still unsolved. On August 21st, 2024, YouTuber Tim Morozov shared a terrifying story from his investigation at a swamp known for strange and deadly events. He went there knowing that 4 people had already died under mysterious circumstances. A girl who drowned and the 3 men who tried to save her also lost their lives. Tim's EVP device picked up whispers, and things quickly started to escalate. He talked about the past deaths and how the swamp felt cursed. Soon, he began hearing unexplained cries and weird noises. Shadows seemed to move around him, and his equipment caught silhouettes and spikes of paranormal activity, proving he definitely wasn't alone. Determined to get some answers, Tim took a small boat out to the middle of the swamp. Using his spirit box, he tried to communicate with whatever was there. The device responded, confirming something was present, but Tim started feeling uneasy as his gear picked up even more movement and energy.
Сейчас видел. Что-то видел он там. Тепловизор.
His thermal imager spotted something moving in the water while he stayed in the boat. The water rippled in a weird way before something reached up and touched it from underneath. Meanwhile, his EVP device picked up some responses.
Снизу. Лодку тронул.
Я тут.
Черт. Кто ты?
Я тут. Посмотри.
Кто ты?
The swamp felt like it was pulling him in, and the spirit box hinted at something dangerous ahead. But Tim knew better. When his flashlight died, he had to switch to night vision to find his way through.
Конец близок. Конец будет страшным.
Suddenly, he heard his name being called from the darkness. Feeling disoriented, he realized he couldn't find his tent anymore. The entity was trying to trap him.
Как твое имя? Где фонарик? Твою мать. Твою мать. Свет выключился полностью. В этой палатке я не вижу ничего.
Tim chose to stay by a tree and wait for dawn, since every time he tried to find his way out, he just ended up deeper in the swamp. Throughout the night, he felt strange movements around him, and his camera caught dark, eerie shadows. He realized this was way more sinister than he ever expected.
Где палатка? Твою мать. Слышу трассу.
At first light, Tim finally made it back and recovered his tent and gear. But he left the swamp with more questions than answers. He came to believe that the swamp wasn't just haunted by a regular spirit. It was a dark entity that used deception to trap people in danger. Chris is a professional ghost hunter and paranormal researcher with a passion for all things spooky. Tonight, he's car camping at one of the most haunted spots in the US, Purgatory Road.
I'm at Purgatory Road, one of the most haunted roads in all of America. And tonight, I'm alone. I'm all by myself. All I have with me here is this lovely Honda Accord, which I'm going to be sleeping inside of tonight. I literally have a blanket and some other goodies, but mostly just me and the car. That's it. So I'm here and I've decided that... Hello? Like, listen to how quiet it is out here in this forest. There's no wind, there's no cars, there's nothing. And again, driving out here is super far from the farm, not anyone that I know, so I'm praying that no one really tries to come and mess with me, because it's public. This is like a public area. Anyone can come down here, but I don't want anyone to mess with me. That would suck. But now you guys can see where I am. Purgatory Road. There's a car. It's honestly like feels pretty comfortable right now. It's not terrible, but it's always different when you're by yourself. So, oh, okay, my light just flickered. That was cool.
As the night goes on, Chris starts hearing noises, uncomfortably close.
It is on. Hello? Like, I want to look, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Kind of creepy. Out, but 11. It's after 11. That is the time. We're in that hour right now, which is very strange. What are you trying to tell me? What was that? I swear to God, something just hissed at me. It's like a growl hiss or something. I could be wrong. Alright. It's gonna have me walking backwards here for a second. I hit the record button on accident, so I guess we'll keep going with it. No, I didn't. Alright, I keep hearing footsteps behind me. There's something in the woods moving. It sounded like you might have breathed into my little device here, but again, I invite anything out here to please come talk into my device. I'll be able to hear what you say. You don't have to talk super loud, just whisper it into my device, please. Get a lot of names. I don't always buy into the names just because it's interesting that it's just, what do they mean, right? I don't know what these names are, who they are, what they were. What the f was that?
problem is that my car is that way. That could have easily been something like bird, animal.
Gertrude.
Could have been Gertrude. Doesn't really make sense, but
Be fearful.
be fearful. I am fearful. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. It's like interesting to do stuff like this by yourself, and I always tell myself I'm never gonna do it. But when Dylan and TJ are both busy, what choice do I have? So here I am.
He leaves his camera recording and keeps the light on, hoping to catch anything that might be hiding in the dark. About an hour and a half later, the camera picks up something unusual.
Hello? That was nothing, guys. That was nothing. I'm just gonna go to sleep now. Toodaloo!
Soft sounds begin to drift in from the woods, gradually getting louder.
What the f is that? What the f is that? Hello? What the
Chris got exactly what he came looking for, maybe even more. Purgatory Road didn't disappoint this time. The night wrapped up, but the spooky stuff might still be going on. It's June 25th, 2021, and Dan is setting out on a new adventure, spending the night in an abandoned building. Luckily, he's not alone. His good friends, Andrew and James, are joining him on this eerie journey. As dusk falls, the trio begins their exploration, driving an hour and a half to reach the building, completely unaware that their night is about to take a terrifying turn.
Oh, this place looks creepy as well. It doesn't look that bad from the outside. So you got the old furnaces here. Wow. So let me guess, there's a spooky story where they used to burn bodies in here.
When they arrive, an eerie feeling settles over them. The building towers ahead, once a factory where countless people worked, later turned into a morgue where bodies were burned. There's even a local legend about a worker who drowned here, whose spirit is said to still haunt the factory grounds.
I'm not joking, every time after a while, you'll hear a splash, a big splash in here with no ripples, as if the worker and fell in here.
What, in there?
You'll hear like the residual sound of him falling back down in there.
They wander through the dilapidated factory with peeling walls, rusty machinery, and an overwhelming feeling of decay that's been left untouched for years.
It's these bits that are the scary bit.
Yeah, if anything happens and we have to run out, make sure we take our time. I don't want to be running off the edge or something like that.
Everywhere though, it's not like it's like one or two, you remember that everywhere.
I know.
Like these catwalks there. Dangerous.
No, there's only one way out, unfortunately. That's a good thing. Tell them a lie, there's two ways out.
They set up camp and pitch their tent. As the night grows darker, they decide to explore the building once more, and what they hear is absolutely terrifying.
Was that you?
What?
The splash.
What the hell?
There's a splash.
Is there any ripples in the water? No.
No ripples in the water. You sure that wasn't you?
Yeah, that's the third time that's happened to me here in this
Oh, hang on. The water is moving. Is it? So is this... This is... What if there's concrete falling off underneath it?
Possibly, when we're walking
Well,
on
one theory I heard was that there's gas bubbles that got disturbed and make a Well, let's not light the fire just then. Right, I'm gonna need a hand bringing this upstairs.
They hear a splash coming from the water downstairs. Maybe it's the ghost of that worker who drowned. A bit on edge, they keep checking things out but don't find anything else. So they head back to camp and cook up some dinner.
It is. Doesn't feel scary at all. Well, yes, I could change. I don't know, it's like a voice. You hear a voice? Like, down that way. But that's the same place before I heard something bang. But it's slipping. I don't know where it was. No, there's nobody down there. Maybe just the wind. Does that definitely sound like a voice? What did it sound like it said? It sounded like it said anything. It sounded like it moaned. Okay.
Andrew hears a noise, a voice down the hallway. Maybe someone else is in the building? They stay quiet and listen, but the sound fades away. Figuring it was probably nothing, they decided to call it a night.
There you go. Right then. Right. Good night, guys. Good luck. Good night. I'm going to enjoy this right now. Night, Andrew. Night. Oh, I thought they were asleep, but they're not. Night, everybody. Night. No seriousness, I could hear a noise then.
Yeah.
It's to the left of my tent.
What is that, my direction?
Facing you, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I keep hearing the night.
Are you guys recording? Yeah.
What?
Okay.
You recording?
They have not switched off yet. I'm eating Jaffa cake donuts.
I swear to God. I want one of these Jaffa cakes.
Right, I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna turn my light off and that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Otherwise, I'm never gonna get to sleep.
Even though both Dan and Andrew heard the voice, they brushed off the unease, hoping to get some rest. But sleep isn't coming anytime soon. Just as Dan's about to drift off, a light cuts through the darkness. Someone's shining a flashlight at their tent. Luckily, Dan isn't asleep yet and spots the movement. The camera picks up whispers loud and clear. Feeling uneasy, Dan decides to check it out.
Yo, you guys awake? Yeah. What was that? No, what was that? Jailer? Yeah. What was that? Everything with her. It was someone walking. It sounded like someone walking up here. So cold. It was definitely someone walking. I told you. Now it's playing now. Unless it's a rat. It sounds like someone on the back of your tent. There's nothing behind me, is there? No. It's behind me. Yeah. I want to make sure no one's in here. I can't not physically sleep if someone's in here. I've just got to sleep as well.
It's clear someone or something is out there. Despite the growing fear, the trio pulls themselves together and heads out to find who or what's messing with them.
Bang's out here is freezing. Did you hear that bang? Yeah. It sounded like a car door. Where? Just in the distance. You heard the temperature change, the pressure change. What was it? Is there?
There's something down there.
Right, hold on.
Why is my pet? Where's the hell is that? Okay, don't.
You're the one panicking, Andrew. What was that? It sounded like something dropped.
It's only down that corridor, though. There's definitely some noise down there. Outside, make sure there's nothing.
Yes, it goes outside. That's the only problem. What was that? Oh, you move. What was that? Are you for real? Right. Shining lights in there. This is what. It could be a mouse, it could be a
loud bang comes from the hallway right next to them, but when they check it out, there's no one around.
There's nothing that could make that noise in here unless it was falling off down the railings.
There is a level inside of there.
Really?
Yeah, but the only way through it is the ladder outside. I don't think it's safe. I tried once.
But I can't sleep in here.
We need to check the tents.
I can't sleep in here. If this happened, Andrew, that bang could have come from in there.
What's in there?
It's another big room, look.
Oh, it could be anything.
I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe we've got tents out.
First, a flashlight appears, then the noises start getting louder all around them. There's definitely someone hiding, probably in that other room.
Especially with these.
What was that?
What the hell? It's all down there.
It's down there. Bro, what was that? Where's that come from? That wasn't here before because we cleared the floor.
Is that falling? Does it fall from up there, look?
No, because it'd probably...
There's noises everywhere, man.
I don't know if I'm going to go to sleep. I think I'm just going to sit in the tent and just with my door open partly.
I can't stop shaking.
I'm probably could... If I do fall asleep, I'm just going to leave my door open partly so I can jump out if I need to.
Something feels seriously wrong, so they decide they can't stay here. They sit in their tent, waiting for dawn. Once the first light of morning comes, they pack up quickly and leave the haunted factory behind. Tim Morozov heads deep into a cursed forest with his dog Kuchum. The video starts off calm with nothing unusual, but as night falls and Tim retreats into his tent, strange sounds like footsteps can be heard outside.
Кто здесь? Кучум.
As they step out to confront whatever is hidden in the darkness, Kuchum suddenly senses something deeper within the forest and takes off after it, but he doesn't return.
Не знаю, что делать. Прошло уже 2 часа. Как я зову Кучума, он не приходит. Я надеюсь, что ничего плохого не произошло. И он всего лишь погнался за каким-нибудь зверем. Или просто ушел погулять. Кучум! Больше ничего не слышно. Ни лая, ни каких-либо шумов.
Tim starts a fire and waits for Kuchum, but when the sun comes up and he's still not back, Tim gets worried and decides to go find him.
Сейчас я собираюсь до тут дойти, посмотреть, что там.
Near his campsite, Tim spots signs of people. A fire that's mostly burned out, but still has some warm coals and creepy stick structures. As he keeps looking around, night falls again, and this time he feels like something's following him.
Bana.
He barely escapes and hides, but suddenly Kuchum shows up, like he somehow knew his owner was in trouble. This is Jasko, a well-known YouTuber you might recognize from his channel, Jasko. He's made a name for himself exploring haunted forests and abandoned buildings, usually with his friends Benjamin and Chris. But tonight, things are different. He's heading into the Pine Barrens, a place famous for its cryptids and strange happenings. Everything from Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil to eerie glowing orbs.
1:30 in the morning, there was a group of people approaching my campsite. I got them on camera.
Jasko ventures into the forest and eventually finds a spot to set up camp. With his spirit talker in hand, he starts exploring, hoping to connect with whatever spirits haunt these woods.
We're listening. Oh, we're listening. Listen, listen, listen. That's like a whistle. Wait, did I say we're listening or we're whistling? Can you do that again for me? Oh no. Well guys, might have to cut this video short. There's just okay, I'm gonna head back towards the campsite for a bit.
Within minutes, distant coyote howls interrupt him. For safety, Jasko heads back to camp, sits down, and starts eating dinner.
May 2026. I don't know if this is like, I don't know, let's give it a shot. I always wanted to try something like this. They had lasagna, and I was like, I love lasagna.
Did you catch that? A flashlight beam cuts through the trees in the background. Someone or something is watching him, but Jasko doesn't notice.
I'm gonna have my flashlight ready just cause. Hello? That was close. That was very close. Who's out there? Oh, hell no. Listen, if it gets too scary for me, I'm leaving. I'm not taking any chance. I'm straight up leaving. You guys hassle me for not staying tonight anyways, but I'll try my best. But regardless, I'm alone and I'm not taking any chances here.
In the middle of the night, there are clear signs that someone is near his campsite. Most people would be terrified, but the night is just getting started. Determined, Jasko heads toward an abandoned building deep in the forest. Then, he spots a light in the distance, proof he's not alone.
You guys, I hope you can hear me or see me, and I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I swear I thought I just saw a flashlight down in that direction. Now, you probably can't even see much, guys. My flashlight's like on its way out, and like, oh,
My life was short.
That's just scared the... Oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, hold on. There's a light over there. Hello?
There's no response, so he decides to follow the light. It leads him straight to the abandoned building. The moment he gets there, the danger ramps up.
Who's out there? Goodness. I mean, once again, it could just be other campers. Could be someone fishing. I mean, what, ice fishing, Jazz? Wait a second. Wait a second. Oh my God, is that a stone building? Oh my God. Wait a second. Okay, literally a stone building and lights. Literally what I just told you guys about, what, 30 minutes ago? Yeah, now I'm freaking the hell out. Is anybody here? There's a bunch of garbage. What the hell did I see? Who's in there? Who's in there? How? Someone's in there with the okay. I'm out of here. Sorry.
Running from an unknown threat, Jasko retreats to the supposed safety of his campsite. But is it truly safe there?
Back in the tent now, obviously, and I'm just still trying to... There was someone out there. You know, at first I was telling myself, all right, it's just animals and stuff, but animals aren't walking around with flashlights, let's be honest. There was someone in one of those rooms. I have no idea how, because you saw all of them were locked. Now, maybe someone has the key. Maybe it's one of those locks where you could just easily turn it, stick something in and like I don't know, maybe someone's taking shelter in there. I mean, this is clearly like a campground, like people do come here, so I'm trying not to like think worst case scenario and say like, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, but like, it's just weird, man. Like, I announced myself, I said hello, I said nothing, you know, like I put it in like my perspective. If I'm out there and someone's like freaking out or someone's just saying hello, I'd say, was good, you know, what's up, man? Like, you need something or anything? But like, no, this dude's just walking around with a light on and just, I don't know. So listen, I have a camera outside. I only have one camera with me, and I figured I'd point it in this direction because that's the way I went, and then where I ended up to that area where I saw light. So I figured, you know, whatever. And I'll see you guys in a little bit, I suppose. If anything else happens, you guys will see it. The camera's on, so see you guys.
He tries to shake off the fear, distracting himself with his phone, but exhaustion soon takes over, and Jasko drifts off to sleep, though it doesn't last long.
That was close. That was really close.
A blood-curdling scream echoes through the forest, jolting him awake. He looks outside but sees nothing.
Hello? Anybody out there? You all right? But I heard footsteps. It could be the footsteps of animals, which at the same time, that's horrifying in itself.
The noises start up again, footsteps, twigs snapping, something moving in circles around his tent, and then it happens.
It sounds like someone's approaching the tent. Who's out there? Did something just hit the tent, or was that like wind? Hold on. Footsteps. Okay. Something's out there. Something is out there. Hello? Who's out there? What do you want?
As something unseen terrorizes him, Jasko stays frozen in fear inside his tent, waiting for whatever's out there to show itself. After 15 tense minutes, the noises finally fade. Was it just an animal, or was someone really out there? His outside camera captures something chilling.
There was someone, as a matter of fact, there was more than one person out there near my campsite, and I got them on camera. And I have no idea what the hell they were doing out there. I have no idea if they even saw the camera. Maybe they did, because at one point they stopped, but I'm gonna let that footage play for you really quick just so you can see what I caught. Now, as you can see, they were walking past and at one point completely stopped, then the lights shut off, and then they turned back on. They kept on going. And this was around the point where I was just sitting in there with my Nintendo Switch, just minding my own.
Fear grips him, but Jasko makes it through the night.
I was able to stay here by myself and kind of really just push through the entire night. But regardless of the fact, after what I just heard, I want to get the hell up out of here, and I don't think you guys will blame me.
Though he never manages to sleep, Jasko quickly packs up at dawn and leaves the forest, vowing never to return. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.